You know, dating gets really interesting after age 50, and you have to approach the whole thing with kind of a scholarly fashion. I'm an amateur anthropologist of what I call girl herds. Most guys don't realize this, but when two, three or more women get together, they all take on a common telepathic brain. I'll be like, hey, what's shaking, ladies? One of them will make a subtle eye contact with another one and communicate, what do you think? Total loser? Yeah, big time. And I recently came to realize that if one woman, that women can communicate telepathically with any and all women on the planet. Once one woman knows something about you, they all do. So for example, my second cousin's dog walker slept with him and said he was really lousy in bed. Couldn't get it up? No, he wet the sheets. Nothing puts a damper on your sex life than prostate issues, and I've got big prostate issues, literally. For an entire year, I'd limped around actually, with epididymitis, which is Greek for sore nuts. I tried to ignore it, but people point out to me that I was walking with a real limp. And nothing is really sexier to a woman than when her man says in bed, please be gentle. So I finally went to the doctor and told him I had sore testicles. He had me drop trow, reached over, and I was like, ah! Holy mother, God, motherfucker! And he said, entering into his laptop, yes, they definitely are sore. A urologist, whom we'll call Dr. Z, gave me antibiotics for the epididymitis, but the underlying problem was an enlarged prostate. He first prescribed a couple of drugs that caused orthostatic hypotension, meaning that when I would bend over and then stand up suddenly, the blood would rush out of my head and I'd be reeling all over the place. So when I told him about the side effects, Dr. Z said it was pretty much the armamentarium, and he wanted to do something called transurethral microwave thermotherapy, which is a polite way of saying that he wants to ram a tube up my dick and fry my prostate. I would have been more charmed if he told me he wanted to fuck me up the ass with a cattle prod. Luckily, I'm a medical writer, I said, you're telling me there's no more drugs I can take? I know there are other drugs out there. He finally put me on something called Avodart, which is a downstream testosterone blocker. It's also called chemical castration, but I prefer testosterone blocker. He told me that the side effects included sore nipples, breast enlargement, and loss of libido. Loss of libido, I asked him? At this point in time, you'd be doing me a favor. Despite the 2 weeks of sore nipples, the drugs worked like a charm, and my libido is woefully still intact. Dr. Z sent me a refrigerator magnet for Christmas with the name of his practice on it. It was not only very thoughtful, but a real conversation starter. So one of my guests noticed it at a party, and I said, you know, Dr. Z gives the best rectal exams on the North Shore. Anyway, thanks for listening, and namaste.